Hi, Mark. Mark, I'm Maddie with American Income Life Insurance Company. I talked to you yesterday about the benefits to your brother's union. By the way, is Beth here? These benefits apply to her as well. Do you mind if we sit down at the table so I can go over these benefits with the both of you? Now, did you have a chance to talk to John about what he did for you and your family while I'm here today? Okay, so I'll go ahead and back up and fill you in on what's going on. As you know, your brother is a member of the union. Are you familiar with unions? Like electricians, firefighters, federal employees. Yeah, so I'm sure you know they have the best benefits out there, right? American Income is the unionized company that provides these benefits for all these labors and associations. So since your brother is a member of good standing with his union, he's been allowed to extend some of his private union benefits to people that he cares about. Are you familiar with unions? Do you know the difference between your temporary and your permanent benefits? Okay, yeah, so benefits you have to your work are temporary because 31 days after you leave, quit, or retire, all of them go away. But your brother did an amazing thing for you. If you qualify today, you'll have these permanent benefits, which stay with you for the rest of your life, and nobody can take these away from you. All right. Now, did you have a chance to read the letter that I sent to you? Okay, so I can go ahead and read it to you now. Okay, so as it says in the letter, it's my job to bring by these benefits and explain your options. After I'm done, they have a report card that you fill out, which simply goes back to the union to let them know I was here and I did my job. So is that fair? Okay, and as the letter explains, they have me out here for 3 reasons. 1, to inform you about the food banks. 2, to deliver and explain this per-qualified no-cost benefit package. And 3, to see if we can get you enrolled into the permanent benefits that union members have if they qualify. So, Mark and Beth, let me ask you, have either of you been laid off or unemployed? Okay, the reason I ask is because we collect food for members in a time of need. The way they keep the food banks running is when we're in members' homes, we ask if there's a can or 2 of food they were already going to bring, and we can go ahead and take care of that for them. But if that's something you want to participate in, just let me know before we leave, okay? Okay, so for your first no-cost benefit is going to be your $2,000 AD&D certificate. It covers you for $2,000 in the event that you lose your sight, limbs, or are killed in an accident, and it's non-contributory and non-participating, so that just means it's already been paid for you. So you're just going to fill out the left side, I filled out the right, and then you're going to send it into Waco, Texas, and it will arrive within 4 to 6 weeks. This is especially important because if you don't qualify for the freedom of choice, you're going to at least have something. Which is a whole lot better than nothing, right? Exactly. So your next pre-qualified benefit is your health services discount card. Do you guys have health insurance? Okay, awesome. Well, this is not health insurance. It's just simply designed to work in conjunction with your existing medical insurance to cover any out-of-pocket expenses. This discount card will save you up to 60% off of eye care, hearing, prescription, and chiropractic needs, and it's no cost to you. So if you have any questions, there's a 1-800 number right here. And this is my personal cell phone number. And do you guys have internet in the home? Okay, so to find the providers in the area, you just put the zip code right here and then promo code AIL. And I see you wear glasses. So this will come in handy. It provides up to 60% off of eyeglasses and contact lenses, as well as up to 30% off of eye examinations and surgical procedures like LASIK. And how is your guys' hearing? Okay, this card will save you up to 20% off of hearing aids and hearing aid repairs. Do you guys take prescription drugs? Okay, this discount card, it provides up to 30% off of regular drug prices, and it works in a network of over 40,000 pharmacies. Which one do you guys normally go to? Safeway? Awesome, so that's right on there. And we also do a mail order service as well. Do you guys go to the chiropractor? Cool, so this will come in handy. This provides up to 40% off of usual fees, as well as up to 20% off of follow-up procedures like massage therapy. This discount card normally costs families up to $60 a year, but since your brother extended this benefit to you, it's no cost to you. It saves families between $500 to $1,500 a year, so you can see why this is important, right? So your discount card is going to look like this, bright pink, so you never lose it, and then it's going to have your information on it. There's a few ways you can activate this card. you can go to this website right here and put in AIL, and it should arrive within 10 to 12 business days. Or if you prefer to mail it in, you can fill this out and mail it in, and it should arrive within 4 to 6 weeks. Or if you qualify with American Income benefits, they'll take care of it for you, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So for your next benefit is the Family Information Guide. Do you guys have a will set up? Okay, so this is not a will, and it's not intended to replace a will. It's simply a roadmap for your family so that when something happens, they'll know what to do. Okay, so you're gonna put your basic information right here. Were you a veteran? Okay, so you're gonna put your paperwork right here. And there's a spot right here for you and your spouse to swap. And the persons to be notified, this is the most important part, because every year millions of dollars of life insurance and work benefits go unclaimed because families don't know what was in place, or more importantly, not know what to do with something that is in place. And so they just have us help you find 5 people that are in the area around your age or younger, just so they can help you out when something happens to you. So who's the first person you want notified when something happens? Okay, so that's 5 people. Awesome. So right here is your last will and testament. You said you don't have a will set up. So when you do get that set up, go ahead and put that right here. And so you do have life insurance outside of work, right? Okay, so anything you have to work, you're going to put in pencil because that changes and expires. But anything that permanent that you have with American Income, is you're going to go in pen right here. And right here, you're going to put if you have checking, savings, or both, just so your family knows what accounts to close out when you're gone. And do you guys have a safe deposit box? Okay, if you guys get that set up, you can put that information here, but don't put this in there because it does take an act of Congress to take it out. Have you guys thought if you wanted cremation or burial? Okay, either way, it's super expensive, but if you do qualify for the freedom of choice, they'll automatically take care of it for you, so your family doesn't have to. Okay? Pretty awesome. So the next one is your child safe ID kit, since you have 2 children. Have you guys heard of the Amber Alerts before? Okay, so police and communities are actively searching for over 23 kids each and every day, and this is a vital tool because, like, heaven forbid, if something happened to your children. Exactly. And so you're going to put information like height and weight. You're going to put that in pencil, but anything like blood type and name, you're going to put that in pen. Right here is the DNA information. You're going to want a fingernail clipping, hair follicle root to tip, don't want to cut it, and then you're going to put a cloth underneath the child's armpit for 3 to 5 minutes for the Canon unit. And then right here is the special marks. Anything like glasses, braces, scars, any birthmarks, anything like that, you're going to put that here front to back, and then corresponding right here. And then right here's the fingerprint information. This is double-sided ink tape. You're going to peel it off, and you're going to put the fingers in the corresponding boxes. You don't want to do it too light or too dark, and you don't want to roll it because that's going to smudge the ink. And then right here, you'll put a picture of the child and update it every 6 to 12 months. So once you have everything, you're going to put it back in the bag and you're going to put it in the freezer. The reason why I say freezer is because 1, it's the last place to burn down on a house fire, and 2, it preserves the DNA. So you can see how important this is. Right, exactly. So now, Mark, what they're finally allowing you to do, since your brother's in member good standing, is allowing you to extend the same no-cost benefit package to people that are close to you and people that you care about. Now, unfortunately, you can't do more than 10 people, even though it doesn't cost you money, it doesn't cost them money, it does cost American Income a lot of money. So all they're asking is that they're above 21 years of age, in the area, and working, because these are working class family benefits, and not in trouble with the law, because we do police and firefighter benefits, and that just wouldn't make sense, right? So I see you put so-and-so on the family information guide. Do you think they meet all those requirements? Okay, so who's your first brother? Who's your oldest sister? Oldest coworker? Favorite neighbor? Okay, so awesome. And you do text, right? Sorry. You do text, right? Okay, so I will go ahead and send you a text, and you can forward that to all the people you send these great benefits to. That way they know who I am and why I'm calling them. All right. So I can wait while you do that. Awesome. So actually, since your neighbor has 2 kids, you can actually go ahead and give them a call, and I can see if I can squeeze into my schedule because I'm only going to be here for the next couple of days, right? Okay, cool. Hi, Macy. Macy, this is Maddie with American Income. I'm sitting here with your friends, Mark and Beth, delivering their private union's benefit package, and they've actually been allowed to extend a few of their private benefits to people that are close to them and people they care about, and they selected you. So what's the best time to bring this by to you? Okay, I have a time here and here, which is going to work best for you. Okay, all right, I will see you tomorrow at this time. Have a great evening. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so Mark and Beth. So even though your brother wanted you to have this pre-qualified benefit package, does not mean you can automatically enroll into the permanent benefits. Like I said, you do have to qualify. They are police and firefighter benefits. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions about your health and habits just to see if we can do anything at all for you today, okay? So do you take any prescription medications? Have you ever had any health issues in your lifetime? Do you use tobacco or marijuana in any form? Have you ever had any arrests, including DUIs? Okay, awesome. So it's looking pretty good for you. Like I said, I can't guarantee. It looks like you do have a chance. I just have to ask you a few more questions just to see what we can do for you. Actually, have you heard of the Labor Advisory Board before? Okay, the Labor Advisory Board, they're made up of 54 international labor and association leaders, and what they do is they advise and make recommendations as to where you have gaps in your coverage and where American Income can fill those gaps in for you. They work with over 44,000 groups and have over 8.5 million members, so clearly they're doing something right. Wouldn't you say? Exactly. So they're just going to have me ask you a few more questions just to see where those gaps are. Okay, so obviously you do have a few gaps in your coverage that American Income will be willing to fill in for you. I can't say for sure just yet, but have you heard of Our Power before? Excuse me. Okay, Our Power is an old union philosophy. So Mark, how many hours do you think you're working in a week? Okay, 40? That's about how many hours most union members are working. So what Our Power says is you should be setting aside the first 1 to 2 hours of your weekly wages, setting them aside for your family's permanent benefits. That way, that when something happens, like you get laid off or the time eventually does come and you do pass away, your family will be okay and taken care of, right? And so I know we all try to budget our money well, but let's face it, we spend money on things that we don't need or things that aren't even important, right? So Beth, how much do you make an hour? Beth, how much do you make an hour? Okay, so your Our Power combined is 40. Most couples make around $10 to $100 an hour. That's husband and wife combined. But most families I see, they set aside between $30 to $80 a week. But Mark and Beth, provided you qualify today, you can do more than that or you can do less than that. As long as you're setting aside at least 1 hour of your weekly wages, you and your family will be okay and taken care of. Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. So now, Mark and Beth, this is the most important part. I'm going to go ahead and show you the program that they designed for you. So if you have any questions for me today, please don't hesitate to ask, because this isn't something that we will be going over later or over the phone. There is paperwork that we will be filling out today, okay? Okay, so the first area they are concerned about are your injuries on or off the job. At work, you have L&I, or long-term disability, and that covers about 60 to 80% of your wages, but that's not enough to cover your co-pays, deductibles, loss of income, and such. So that's why they set up your accidental hospital benefits. Mark, when you, Beth, and the children get involved in any kind of accident, they're going to send you $100 just for taking the time out of your day to go and get that injury taken care of, okay? Whether you burn yourself, sprain your ankle, need stitches on or off the job, and that money comes directly to you to pay any out-of-pocket expenses or loss of income, right? So when it's a little bit more serious and you end up spending the night in the hospital, they're going to send you $200 a day for up to 1 full year. The reason why it's $200 is because, Mark, when you're in the hospital, Beth isn't going to be working, right? Because she's going to be by your side taking care of you, right? So is this going to help your family out? Absolutely. So the next area is when it's even more serious and you end up in the ICU or the intensive care unit. They're going to send you $400 a day just for taking they're going to send you $400 a day for up to 2 full weeks. The reason why it's only 2 full weeks is because at that point they're either going to pull the plug or put you back down in the hospital overnight for $200 a day for 1 full year. Right? Is this all making sense for you? Cool. So the next area they're concerned about are your funeral and final expenses. Mark and Beth, have you ever had to plan a funeral before? Okay, so they're not concerned about if you die because it's a matter of when, because all of us will, right? So, Mark, when you die and Beth has to go to the funeral home, that's a major problem because when she goes down there and talks to the funeral director, he's just going to say, I'm sorry for your loss, but how are you going to pay for that, right? And so funeral homes require all or bulk of the money, or at least need to know where this money is coming from, right? And so while Beth is waiting for your life insurance money, investments, savings, all that to come in, who has to come up with the money in the meantime? Beth does. Exactly. And that's not even counting all the other final expenses outside of the funeral. Just the funeral alone today is about $14,000 and it's projected to be over $30,000 within the next 20 years, right? And final expenses just aren't something that we can avoid. So there's a few ways that you can take care of this. You can pay a funeral home in $200 and $300 increments, but nobody really does that anymore because you move, they go out of business, then you're all out of that money. Or you can leave that bill to your family, which isn't super fair to them, right? Or there's a freedom of choice, which all union members have if they qualify. Now, Mark and Beth, the reason why it's called the freedom of choice is because when something happens to Mark, Beth, all you have to do is take this down to the funeral home and hand this over to the director and say, my husband has the freedom of choice. And from that point forward, everything is taken care of. Anything left over is going to come back to the family as a living benefit cash in hand. Does that make sense? Awesome. So what they've allocated for you, Mark, is $15,000, and Beth, you $15,000 as well. So what you're going to do when something happens, Beth, you're going to go down to the funeral home and you're going to put how much of that $15,000 you want to use just for the funeral. Because funeral homes are just like any other business. They're going to use 100% of that money that you give them. So make sure you allocate how much of that $15,000 you want to use for the funeral. Anything left over is going to come back to the family and be deposited into their bank account within 72 hours. American Income is an A+ rated insurance company simply because their payout is within 72 hours, unlike other companies that take about 6 weeks to 6 months. You see how important this is? Right. And so an accidental death is the most common type of death in our working years. So, Mark, when something happens, they're going to send you $20,000 on top of your freedom of choice and final expenses. And what is the most common accidental death you can think of? An auto accident. So when something happens to either of you, they're going to send you $40,000 on top of your freedom of choice. And so are you guys familiar with what a common carrier is? Okay, so that's bus, plane, train, taxi, anything you pay a fare for. In that case, they're going to send $100,000 on top of your freedom of choice and final expenses. And that's the reason why it's $100,000 is because it's an international company. So if you're on vacation in Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Alaska, they're going to be able to, you're going to be able to use that so they can transport your body back to where they are. All right? Cool. So let's say, Mark, you're on your way home from work and unfortunately you pass away in an auto accident or you have a heart attack or stroke. What is going to happen to your paycheck? It's gone. Exactly. And it's not like Beth can walk into work and demand a $20 raise, right? Exactly. That's not going to happen. So they set up what they set up for you guys is paycheck protection. So Beth, when something happens to Mark, they're going to send you a check of $3,466 every month for the next month after something happens, and every month thereafter for up to 1 full year. All right, and this is so, Beth, you can keep food on the table, still live a normal life, take care of the kids and such. All right, is this gonna help you guys out? Absolutely. So, Mark and Beth, since you said that you guys have cancer running in your family, they did set up cancer protection for you guys. So, typically with women, it's 1 in 4 women develop breast or cervical cancer, and for men it's 1 in 3 develop prostate cancer. And so when you do get diagnosed with cancer, your medical insurance is going to cover up to 80% of those expenses, but there still is that 20% left over. So what they set up for you is $25,000. So when something happens, that can take care of the rest of the 20% for you guys. All right. And people don't only enroll into these benefits because they are the best benefits in the state, right? It's also because there are living benefits. So your freedom of choice of, you said 15,000, grows at a 4.5 interest rate, and that builds an emergency fund. So that when things get tight, that can help with your contribution, right? Okay. There's also paid up benefits, so that when you reach the age of 70, you can take a paid up final expense, and it'll take care of your contributions for the rest of your life. Have either of you thought about what you would do if you were diagnosed with terminal illness? Okay, here in the state of Washington, that's if you get told you have 2 years or less to live. In that case, when something like that happens, Mark, they're going to send you half of your freedom of choice up front, so you can go take care of your bucket list, vacation, stay home with the family, or even take care of some of the medical bills as well. And then the other half is going to come to the family after you pass away. All right. Okay, so since we do work with a lot of union members, they set up the strike and layoff waiver. Mark, if you're Mark, when your union goes on strike, they're going to take care of your contribution for up to 1 full year. And Mark, whenever you get laid off, they're going to take care of that for up to 3 months. And this is important because, like I said, the benefits you have through work after 31 days, they're gone. But these permanent benefits you have, they're going to stay with you for the rest of your life. Okay? The best part about these benefits is that they're guaranteed. Beth, if you've developed cancer tomorrow, nobody can ever take these benefits away from you. They're not going to ask you for you to increase your benefits. They're not going to ask you to increase your contribution or decrease your benefits. You're locked in as of today, your health age and habits. Isn't it nice knowing that it's not going to change? Absolutely. Okay, so Mark and Beth, like I said, it's just my job to bring by your benefits and see if we can get you qualified for the permanent benefits. They have this set up like payroll deduction once a month through your own checking account. You can choose whichever day it comes out. It's under your own independent control, not your employer's. All right. So now, Mark and Beth, let's face it, we're all going to pass away. It's inevitable. Enrolling today is going to ensure that this is taken care of, all right? So you can go with the first option that I showed you. That's $26 a week or $115 a month. You can do more than that or you can do less than that. They don't really mind which option you choose as long as your family's protected, all right? So with that being said, which option's gonna sound best for you? This is all based off of your hour power needs analysis, all right? Okay, so you still want to think about it? Not a problem. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. I still have to ask you a few more medical questions because I'm not even sure if you can qualify just yet, right? So I'll just ask you a few more questions. Keep in mind, there is paperwork that we will be filling out because this is an application we're submitting today. Okay? Okay. Awesome. So, Mark and Beth, it looks like you qualify standard. Congratulations. Now, our health is not guaranteed. I mean, it could change tomorrow. Enrolling today is going to ensure that you're locked in as of your health today. So, I can show you an option of a little bit less, I can show you an option a little bit more. We don't want this contribution to cause any kind of financial strain on you because this is an investment for you. So with that being said, we can get you started with a more basic program, and then you can upgrade your coverage later down the road. So again, this is an investment for you and your family and nobody else. So with that being said, which option do you want to see and which option do you want to go with? Okay, still want to think about it? Not a
May I
problem.
have your attention, please? The library is in the process of closing. All business must be completed by 6 o'clock. If you do not have a library card.
Okay, still want to think about it? Not a problem. All I'm going to have you do is fill out this report card just to go back to the union, tell them no, I was here and I did my job. Now, right here, it's going to ask you what was your favorite part about the program? Freedom of choice? Awesome. And so do you have any questions for me? Okay, they do have a couple of questions for you because oftentimes if a member can qualify and doesn't enroll, it's pretty rare. So they just have a few questions. One, do you feel like you understand these benefits? Two, do you feel like you need these benefits? Three, do you feel like you can afford the benefits I've showed you? Oh, you can't afford it? All right, I'm so glad you told me. So we don't want your contributions to this program to cause any kind of financial strain, like I said, but we don't want the lack of the program to cause a financial disaster. Does that make sense? So what I can do for you is I can start you out with the most basic. What they can do for you is they can start you off with the most basic program. That way, later down the road, when you're more financially comfortable, you can upgrade the benefits. So you said that the freedom of choice is your favorite part, right? So they can have you started just on the basic freedom of choice, and later down the road, you can upgrade that. Okay, cool. So this is your American Income Service folder. On the inside, they just want to know the 3 reasons why you got this taken care of today. Could be peace of mind, locked in as today, taking care of my kids, and such. All right? So do you feel good about this? Do you feel like you did something great today? Do you feel comfortable with it? Do you feel like this is financially comfortable for you? Okay, great. Do you have any more questions for me? Okay, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, okay? Awesome. Have a great day.